Hello. Welcome to another Ontology talk. Ontology is the study of being. It has roots in the world of philosophy and has implications really everywhere. How we're being turns out to be really important. How we understand how we're being gives us different spaces of being within which to explore. So this video is intended to explore the human way of being. But first, the standard opening. This body of work is often been called human potential movement or transformational technology. Its roots go back to the world of philosophy for at least 160 years, existentialists and on. A very important integration of this work has been done by Fernando Flores, and one of my teachers was a member of his ODC 1 class, Ontological Design Course 1 class, the first public instruction from Fernando Flores. And I was privileged enough to be able to do coursework with Julio Olaya, who is with the Newfield Network. I did that course back in 1994, and I've been a practicing coach for close to 20 years. Now, a disclaimer. Nothing that's interesting that I'm about to present, assuming anything is interesting, is true by definition. I don't really encourage you to listen to what is being spoken by the standard of what is true or false, because that's the old game of black and white. What I encourage you to do is to listen to what's being spoken in terms of how it resonates for you, in terms of its effectiveness in giving you points of view and ultimately moves in the world that you may not have presently. If this body of work expands the possibilities for you, and those possibilities are possibilities you wish to explore, that this is opening up a space of being for you in ways that you choose, we could call that effective. And if it shuts down your range of possibilities and narrows it to right, wrong, black or white, good, bad, or I have no moves, this is just the way I am, becoming narrower and narrower, fewer and fewer moves, I would say that that would be ineffective. So nothing true here to hold on to. And that is actually by definition, because most of what's being spoken here are opinions, and we'll go into the depth of opinions and linguistic acts in another video. So, with that intro, being, animals, even the rocks, planets, the universe, all have ways of being. A cat has a way of being very different than a canine. And there's a human way of being. And there are many ways to look at that, and the one I would propose that could be useful is to look at our human being as we are multidimensional beings. And I don't mean that in a highly arcane way. I mean that in very practical terms. That humans are having an experience of life moment to moment and in total from within a body. So all human experiences are taking place within a body, and that gives us a certain type of experience. We have this whole body array of built-in instincts and embodied stories and embodied ways of being. We have inbuilt our reactivity to how we cope with the world. we've become either curious or fearful or any number of ways of being, and those have become embodied, and there are actually ways to become observant of those and to shift those. But again, that would be the subject of yet another talk. So just for sake of discussion, we'll say that we have a human experience out of a body. We're also having an experience in the moment and in total and in any way we choose to look at life as emotional beings. That even the smallest experience is taking place within an emotional space. And that emotional space makes a huge difference, because depending upon the type of emotion and emotional space that we're in, certain things are possible and certain things are not. For example, it's hard to be smooth and charming while being pissed off. It just doesn't work. So emotions have a huge role to play. And there's a lot that could be said about emotions. All I would say is that they set a context for what's possible for us to experience in this moment. Then, as human beings, we have this unbelievably powerful facility called language, and we are being in a intellectual linguistic existence. I would submit that it's a very useful perspective to say that we can't know the way it is out there, i.e. reality, the world, others. But our intellectual, conceptual reality experience leads us precisely there, to believe that we know the way that things are, or that we are, or that others are, or the way the universe is, or the world is. So that's a very fascinating way of being that we carry, that we are constantly seeking to impose language and judgment and interpretation on our experience here, believing that we can chop up our experience of reality into all kinds of separate bits, when at the same moment our body is telling us that we are connected to the phenomenal world, the world of experience, of touch, of taste, and that we're actually sharing one experience of reality with everyone around us. That's happening at the physical level. While at the same time, at the conceptual level, we're having all kinds of beliefs in the way things are, and we go running off, becoming quite addicted to our beliefs. And we're having an energetic experience of reality. Whether our energies are focused within, we're consumed with self-conversations, internal experiences, whether our energy is directed outward with the full of our radar, in emotional spaces of wonder, with a body that's open, with an energetic alignment that's open, open-hearted, open in terms of intellectual concepts, open in terms of somatic body experiences. And there is a frequency and amplitude quality to our energy that we bring. And so here we are, as humans, having an experience of reality, or of our breakfast cereal, or of the first conversation we have with our partner in the morning, that is somatic, emotional, conceptual or linguistic, and energetic. And some would add spiritual or our connection to the cosmos, and others. That's fine. It's totally acceptable, because this is not true. So, how is this useful? Well, it gives us a number of lenses, a number of modes of interpretation within which to interpret our experience here on the planet, moment by moment, in the present moment, and in reflection on the whole of our experience or on part of our experience, to not get stuck in our story, to not get completely locked down into a narrow emotional space blindly. What that does is it gives us new lenses, new glasses. It's like, okay, I'm going to see the world from an emotional perspective. Like, what emotions am I in? What are others in? What's open? What's not open? What's possible? Where might I want to go? I can put this down, put on a different pair of glasses, and say, okay, linguistically, who is declaring what realities? Do they have the authority to say that? Have I made my experience clear to others? Am I clear in myself? What's happening? So there are these modes of interpreting, dimensions of listening that are available to help us connect to how we're being. And how we're being is really important, because how we're being shapes our experience of reality. And it happens in many ways. Certainly how we believe we are consciously, the story we hold of who we are, the emotions that we're familiar with, the story that we're familiar with, our default way of being that we've chosen affects our experience of reality. And my question is that choice that we've made what we really want? Is it authentic? Does it represent the whole of our desire for expression as a human being? Or is it conflicted? Do we want this but not that? And is this working against us and that? Does our current cognitive model of being that we have chosen work? Or is it somehow conflicted or out of sync with our experience of reality? That's at the conscious level. But at the unconscious level, we are moving through life, moment by moment, reacting to what comes at us. And the manner of our reacting generates the character of our experience. And I could give any number of examples here. It's if you take this thought journey with me, I think you'll quickly feel that a generally fearful way of being, as you go through life, will produce many experiences that justify that way of being, which locks in a fearful way of being, and then therefore the way the world is scary, threatening, unsafe. It's not appropriate to express oneself. It's to energetically pull in. And so we develop a coherence of a closed-in body, of emotions that are in a narrow range, a story of who we are that gives us very limited moves in terms of self-expression, authentic expression, and energetically we're here. So what that's illustrating is that these dimensions that we are, again, body, emotions, linguistic, intellectual, and energetic, are a coherence. That we're experiencing life moment by moment in a coherence. Every unit of human experience is in a coherence of those. And that gives us the potential to observe our experience from any one or all four of those.